Hey, this is Beatty Carmichael with the next edition of GetSellersCallingYou.com. And today I want to talk about 4 real estate promotional ideas. Just a real quick background of who I am if you've never met me. I'm a professional marketer. I've been working in the consumer industry for over 20 years. Since 2012, my client list has been exclusively the top realtors in America. From the number one RE/MAX team in the world to teams that do 100 to 300 transactions a year to scores of top producers earning multiple six-figure incomes. And the whole focus is how do we take their business and take it to the next level through different real estate promotional ideas. And I want to share 4 of the easiest things that you can do right now to your business. And if you see me looking down, I've got my little notes here just so I can stay on task and try to keep this from being a 2-hour lecture and hopefully keep it about 10 or 12 minutes or so. So the most important thing to realize is cheap is not best, okay? You're looking for return on investment. You're not looking for not so much return on investment, you're looking for maximum results, okay? Which sometimes equate to return on investment, but it doesn't always. Cheap is email. Email doesn't work very well unless you do it right. So I want to talk about different things. When we talk about what gives maximum results, the number one thing is to target your personal list. Those people who already know you. So that's your past clients, that's your sphere of influence, that's your next door neighbor, that's your friends and family, anyone who isn't upset at you and at least likes you, okay? And if they see you walking down the street, they would wave and say, "Hey Beatty," "Hey whoever you are," and that you kick up a conversation, okay? That is your most profitable list, because the hardest thing in marketing is to break through the trust factor. And once you've met someone, once they know you, you've broken through that trust factor. So now it's easy to start milking that list to get more and more sales, direct and referred. So there's a couple things we can do. In fact, let me share one thing just to kind of put in perspective this personal list. So there are a number of studies that are done, but just looking at 2 of the studies that we've done internally, okay? One of our clients tracks, he goes after his personal list, and he goes after a geographic list. And as he tracks it, he says 8.5 times more results from his personal list than his geographic list, and he's doing the same thing. Okay, 8.5 times more results. With our client base as a whole, just sort of anecdotally, one of the things that we do is we identify sellers before they come on the market for our clients. And so then they go out and follow up with them. And here's what we find. Those who meet the homeowner get 8 to 10 times more results in getting the listing than those who don't meet the homeowner. In other words, if we identify 10 people who are going on the market, and I have a group of clients over here, and they just do the follow-up program that we recommend, but they don't do anything else, they're going to get probably 1 listing, okay? But this other group over here, if they do the follow-up program and they go knock on the door and meet the person face-to-face, they'll typically get 9 or 10 listings. That's the difference between if they met you or not. So that's why that personal list is so important. So the first step is to go after your personal list. The easiest thing to do, okay? With your personal list, most of it is just going to be always being there. There's some other stuff in teaching them why to choose you that's going to increase your results. But in terms of trying to keep this message simple and short, let's just talk about the easy things that we can do with your personal list, okay? So the first thing is a weekly email campaign. You heard me, weekly, not monthly, okay? But the type of touch you do in email is what's important. It's not that you're touching them, it's are you touching them in a way that's negative or positive? And when you're talking about your personal list and you're talking about an email campaign, here's what I find works best. There are a lot of things that don't work well. The thing that works best is that you send out what I'll call human interest inspirational stories, okay? If you are old enough, like I am, to remember Paul Harvey, the rest of the story, it's always something uplifting, it's always something that you really want to hear because it's always great. If you're not of a Paul Harvey era and you're more of the younger crowd, then think about if you ever watch news and if they ever come up with what I call just a human interest story, sorry about that, and that story is just, maybe some 11-year-old child decided to get flowers put on the local cemetery graves where no one visits. So he puts out a campaign, he goes to school, he raises all this money, and now all the graves have flowers on them every Sunday, something like that. And it just warms your heart. That's a human interest story. So if you were to put that out in an email every week, then what happens is this. It comes from you, and they open it, and they appreciate it. That's the key. They appreciate it, so they like to read it, and they look forward to your email every week. It's not intrusive. It's actually a value add to them. One of my clients does this. He's been doing it for 17 years. And when he misses a week, his clients call him up and say, "Hey, Stuart, I missed that Monday morning coffee email. Where is it?" Okay? And so he sends it back, sends it on out. So it's really powerful. And what that does is it keeps you top of mind. I can tell right now this is going to go into 2 videos, so apologize on that. So the second thing you can do, also very important, because this is where the bulk of your results is going to come from, your personal list. You do that weekly email, and then you do at least a monthly, if not every 3-week, postcard mailing. And the best type of postcard mailing is just sold. Send out a just sold, send out a just sold, send out a just sold. Even if it's not where they live. Don't worry about if the home you just sold is a $500,000 home and the person on that list is in a $200,000 home. Don't worry about that. Because what's important is that they see that you're always selling. And conversely, if the person's in a $500,000 home and you just sold a $150,000 home, that's okay. Send it out anyway, because the most important thing is that they know that you're actively selling. What that does is it keeps you top of mind that, oh, you're a real estate agent. Oh, you're selling all the time. Oh, I remember you all the time. So when it comes time to sell my house, I'm going to give you a call. When it comes time when someone says, "Hey, I'm thinking about selling my house. Do you have any ideas who I should call?" I said, "Yeah, you ought to call Beatty Carmichael." And that's how it works. Okay, so that's the first thing. Let's talk about number 2. Number 2 is to target a neighborhood. So this is geographic farming. Okay, now there's several ways that you can do geographic farming. You can mail the entire neighborhood, and that works, but you get a little bit, sorry, there's a wasp flying around. By the way, that noise you hear in the background, not the blowers, but this little, sounds like rapids. There's a beautiful creek that runs by our house, winds through and has rapids all down there, so that's what the background noise is. So where was I? Geographic farming, that's right, okay. So to keep it real simple, okay, you can get really detail focused with geographic farming. The best way to do it is to pick a neighborhood where you want to be selling houses. Ideally a neighborhood that has a lot of houses that are being sold all the time. We call it a turnover rate, okay? And then from there, look in that neighborhood and see what price points are typically selling. And then also get an idea of how long does a typical person live in their homes in that area before they sell. And then just do some real simple analysis, okay? At the very least, you know, if you have a whole range of price points in that neighborhood, but only a segment are selling the most, then just pull out every home that's in that segment and mail to that. What that means is you're going to get a higher concentration of homes going on the market, and you'll end up making more money for every dollar that you spend. If you can find out how long they've been in there, maybe like using your tax records and when the property was acquired, then you can narrow it down even more. But the key is try to narrow it down as much as you can in order to conserve your money with those homes that are not likely to be sold. And then what you do when it comes to the farming is go back and send your postcards. Your just sold postcards all the time. That's the easiest thing to do, because what that does is it trains people, okay, you sell real estate. You're selling real estate well. You're selling it all the time. I always see you. And in their mind, they go, this person's always there. I trust this person. It'll take you a while. Typically, expect to get your first listing somewhere within your first year. So that's why you narrow the field down so you're not spending much money, and it'll pay for itself. So it's an investment, but do it. Another thing you can do after, don't do this first, but after you've gone out with 3 or 4 or 5 postcards, and now they kind of know you, they kind of recognize you, then maybe go through and drop either like a typewritten letter in their mailbox, or mail it personally to them to be legal within the Postal Service. And it's what I call I have a client letter. And so if you have clients that are looking in that neighborhood, then simply write them a letter. I have clients that are looking in this neighborhood and they're not able to find the specific home that they're looking for. I was thinking your home might be a good fit for them. I don't know if you're thinking about selling, but if you are, would you please give me a call and let's see if we can match them up. Okay? Even if you're not going to sell for about 6 months, let me know. And so now what's going to happen is they trust you because they see those postcards all the time. Then they get that letter, and you'll be surprised. You'll get a few people picking up the phone and calling you saying, yeah, I'm thinking about selling. Tell me about your client. And then you have your client, you know who kind of your clients are there looking in that area, and then you can kind of talk through it and see if there's a good fit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause this video, and we're going to go to number 2, just so that we keep these a little bit short. By the way, if you like this content, please do 3 things. Like the video, comment on it, and in your comments let me know what information you like, what you don't like, so I can do a better job in giving you the information you want. And then share this video with someone else. Share it with on Facebook, post it on Facebook or Twitter or wherever. And then if you like to, please go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And finally, just one thing that we do as a client, so this is what pays for the videos. It's what's called agentdominator.info. We work with, if you do $5 million a year in volume and have at least 100 people in your personal database, of people you've met, past clients, sphere of influence, then we have a program called agentdominator.info that we double and triple the sales and referrals you get from that list. So if you have an interest and you qualify, go visit the site and check it out. Have a great day. Go to the next video for the next 2 items on real estate promotional ideas. See you. Bye.